For this video, I wanted to talk about ChatGPT. Now, I know how everyone feels about AI, but I personally don't mind it as long as it's being used in helpful ways and is doing good. ChatGPT to me is amazing. I personally think it's great because of what I like about it. I like that when you ask it a particular question, it'll answer it for you specifically related to that point. Like when you ask it to explain to you how to do the assignment because you don't understand how to attempt it, it'll answer it for you, breaking down your whole assignment and explain each part to you. You can type the question down and say, explain this in easy terms, or explain it in a way for kids, and it will. I also love how on the same chat related to the same topic, you ask it anything and you'll get your answers with relations to your topic, meaning that if you're on ChatGPT and your topic is related to marketing, for example, you ask it any question on that very chat and it'll give you the answer and also relate it to your topic, which was marketing. I really like how you can ask ChatGPT to write you essays, stories, song lyrics, etc. And while that might feel like a terrible thing to do, I feel like it's great for people who are in a creative block and can use ChatGPT for inspiration so they can read whatever ChatGPT has conjured up and get their own ideas. I also love how you can put your equations or calculation-based questions and things and get a step-by-step solution on how to do that particular problem if you're not understanding it. I also love how you can ask ChatGPT if the idea you're going for your assignment project is a good idea, and they'll tell you whether or not it's a good idea or not and how you can make it better if the idea is something you feel isn't right. I also love how you can ask it to explain to you something, like for example if you have different points you don't understand, you can ask ChatGPT to explain each of those points to you, and if you don't understand specific points like point 3 for example, you can ask ChatGPT to explain point 3 to you again, and if you still didn't understand, you can ask ChatGPT again and it'll give you a different response each time you ask it to explain it to you again to understand it better. I also love that it grammar checks for you and gives you better words and grammar if your sentence is good but can be better and more polished and better written. You can even ask it other grammar or sentence related things, which I love, because then I won't need things like Grammarly when I have ChatGPT. I also love how you can ask ChatGPT to explain to you something in certain ways, like for example, explain to me what photosynthesis is in an easy way but in a definition format, because ChatGPT also responds in other ways that are not just definitions. All these things make me love ChatGPT, but I also dislike ChatGPT because of things like when you ask ChatGPT for specific answers to questions, like for example, what is Nike's supply chain? Which they'll give you answers for but in a generalized way. Like when asking for Nike's supply chain, they did go into detail, but they didn't go into specific details, meaning that they, for example, for the first part, which is sourcing of raw materials, they said, raw material suppliers, Nike sources raw materials like cotton, leather, rubber, and synthetic fabrics from suppliers around the world, and this to me is a very generalized answer because it doesn't really explain much of anything in the detailed way that I want it to be explained to me. While answers like these are great, they don't go into specifics and I don't like that. Also, it says that ChatGPT can make mistakes to check important info, and I love that it says that, because AI can still mess up. I asked it about a not-so-popular K-pop group named Girlkind and if they know them, and while it gave me the correct debut year 2018, it gave me the wrong information on their debut song named Fancy, calling it Fanfare. I also asked about some other not-so-popular K-pop girl group and I later asked to name their songs, and ChatGPT said that they don't have a discography, which is dumb because there's proof of their music on music streaming platforms like Spotify and YouTube uploaded MVs. I asked it about another not-so-popular K-pop girl group who originally debuted in 2016 with 2 songs being their only songs before they disbanded, one debut and one side track with the side track name written in Korean alongside the debut, and while ChatGPT told me their debut song name correctly, it told me that they debuted in 2020 having their debut song and later releasing more songs, which isn't correct information. Despite correcting it, ChatGPT still gave me the wrong information. I did ask though about a not-so-popular Western singer that I really like and they gave me correct information. I also did ask about 2 not-so-popular K-pop girl groups and they gave me quite correct information. So, it shows that you have to ask about specific artists, which I understand because some artists are super unknown and finding information or any music or anything related to them is harder without doing deep dive researching. But if ChatGPT knew the not so popular girl groups that I asked it about and named their debut song correctly, why did it still give me wrong information? I can understand not having much information on them because they're extremely unknown and the information on them is limited, but at least you can get their debut date, debut song, and music discography correct, which are all basic information. Also, both these girl groups have profiles for them, so even if the information was taken from there, I wouldn't mind as long as it's correct information answered specifically to how I want the answer. In the end, my likes with ChatGPT are more than my dislikes, and my dislikes with ChatGPT are more non-serious, where even though I don't like them, it hasn't really bothered me too much. I see ChatGPT as useful and I don't have any serious issues with it so far. ChatGPT is very helpful to me ATM because I can search up almost anything on ChatGPT, especially in simple terms, to understand it better, or even dumbing it down in kid easy terms so I can understand it better.